I seen an interesting question on Twitter sometime earlier this week. It was if you needed 40 points in one game, who would you want? It was either Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, or KD, but it was Jordan from like he didn't have to go. It was like Jordan from like 80 between like 86 and 89 though.
Yeah, I saw that one on Twitter. That's an easy answer. It's easily Michael Jordan. Uh, yeah, I
Right
don't even
away.
think you don't even got to
You don't
expand.
need
It's easily Mike. If you need a 40-point game and Michael Jordan is an option, Michael Jordan is the correct choice. Always.
I definitely agree with that because it's like that's what he did, right? Especially in that time period, because they just when they picked that when they had that picture, I'm guessing it's like that's what Joe Wiggin picked. Then like I'm definitely picking that Jordan.
If it's during the regular season and I need a 40-point game, if I don't pick Jordan, my next choice probably would be James Harden.
James Harden. Yeah. I just seen a question asking who's the better scorer of all time now, James Harden or Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan's the better scorer, but if I need a 40-point game and Jordan isn't my option, James Harden would be my next option.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I'm John W.
Fresh X.
And this is the Hoopers Morning Run. So earlier this week, Michael Porter Jr. was extended. I think it was the end of last week. Of course, basically going to be the 5-year 175 with incentives. If you reach it, get up to 200 million. So of course, everybody's saying he's, I think, the 5th player to sign for 200 mil. Him, Steph. I can't remember the other 3.
Yeah, it's like him, Steph, Trae Young, Luka.
Yeah.
Steph twice actually. Giannis.
Yeah, Steph twice.
Giannis or whatever. I thought James Harden signed for 200 million.
No, I thought he did too. But when of course Michael Porter Jr. has a high ceiling, he has lots of potential that he can reach out to that he can possibly earn all that money and another one. But when teams sign these players to especially these young players to these contracts this early, does the risk outweigh the reward, or is the reward such a high value that it was worth the risk?
You gotta look at it as a mix of both, honestly. I mean,
that's fair.
When you think about Michael Porter, a lot of people thought he would have been the number 1 pick if it wasn't for the obvious injuries or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But to get that kind of money to someone that hasn't made an All-Star game yet is kind of insane. But he also just had the second most efficient 19 point per game season in NBA history. Wilt is number 1, so that really means he had the best because Wilt's numbers. Wilt is in his own category. Can't even count Wilt. Right. So, but for real, the potential is there with Michael Porter. Like he has all-star potential. I think he could easily be a 25 point per game scorer for them, especially with Jamal Murray. You know, he coming back this year. At what point? But coming back from that injury, you know, he doesn't have to come back to such a load on him. And I mean, I think it could work because Jokic, even though he averaged 25 last year, he's more of a facilitator. Right. Jamal Murray kind of is just like a closer. And Porter can add like the scoring. So the idea of it works. And
you still got Aaron Gordon on that team.
Exactly.
Will Barton.
But winning will help him make some all-star appearances or whatever. But, you know, it's risky because he hasn't made an all-star game.
Right.
He has to play a full season. You got to do this type of things consistently.
For sure.
He did finish top 3 in most improved player.
Yep. After that's without, playing heavy minutes the whole season as well.
So I get why you extend them because it could look like a steal, but it could also look real bad real quickly.
Right.
So excuse me, I don't blame them for taking a chance, but it's risky.
Right. And Michael Porter Jr. on me today was on record saying, when you pay us that type of money, of course you expect us to win a championship. And even before he said that, I was just thinking like, with these teams signing these players like that, where they are signing all their young players at one time, it's kind of good team building because you can lock whoever you think is going to be on these championship teams or playoff contending teams you're building. You can kind of put them together, and it works well because once you start getting to the end, the money really isn't a problem. Honestly, now signing these young players early on, I know even with the Hawks, signing Trae Young and John Collins, and I think they extended Clint Capella, and then of course the offseason moves they made with Bogey and Dino, and you still got to worry about Kevin Huerter in the future and DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, but there's money there for all those players to where you can keep a lot of these young teams together for, not necessarily 10 years because, some players just want to move on, but for the long term. And it kind of helps you just think of what kind of championship team you're building, honestly.
It's always more favorable to sign your own players, but in the end, the teams always pick those 4 that's going to stick around, and then the other ones become interchangeable. Right. But
And everybody isn't gonna get a max either.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, but the pressure is on Denver to compete for a championship, not just because he signed that money, but Jokic won MVP. They was in the conference finals 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
You know, that young nucleus only gets older and your window doesn't stay open forever. So the money puts pressure on you to perform and also for the team to perform.
Right.
But they they definitely I think should have championship, aspirations.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
Got the MVP on your team. What you think?
Right. No, yeah, definitely. Did you see Giannis in CVS? Well, the picture of Giannis, he said nobody recognized him. If you in Milwaukee, you see this big 6'11" dude walking around CVS, you automatically thinking Giannis, automatically, right?
Yeah, it would be pretty obvious to me if I'm in Milwaukee for sure.
No.
How don't you know the biggest star in the city's history since Kareem? So,
right, like who else in the city is that tall too? Like him and his brothers.
Right.
Like you had to recognize him in CVS. But back to the Red NBA, of course, Media Day has gone along and we've heard some things from players. Did you see the Lakers' Big Three new nickname?
No, what's that?
360.
Because of the numbers.
Anthony Davis gonna wear 3, LeBron 6, Westbrook number 0.
It's clever, but I prefer nicknames to be created once we see them play on the court. Like let's see them hoop, and then that kind of manifests itself.
Nah,
I'm not mad at it. It's kind of lazy, but whatever.
Right, like they're just going off the numbers right now. Even LeBron got them in order in the picture so they can have it in the picture for Media Day.
Yeah, I saw the picture. I didn't realize that's what they was doing though.
You didn't realize?
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what they was. Yeah, I seen it.
But like I said, Media Day always brings on. I guess this is the obligatory stuff where they just get it out the way. Questions about things. You see, David Letterman trolling KD.
Yeah, well, actually, when I first initially saw it, I didn't know it was David Letterman. So, and somebody posted it. Of course, they posted just a clip. So it's like, why the hell is he asking this dumb question? And then once I found out it's him and the other questions that he asked him, I'm like, all right, it all makes sense. But that just shows, it's just funny how those one clips can kind of, because I was really like, why did they let this person in the media?
But he does that every year though, as well. Like he's done. I think he mostly does it for when the Knicks were the only team in New York, but he does do Dave from Basketball Digest.
Yeah.
Are you gonna question it either if you're a basketball player? Like, okay, Basketball Digest, whatever.
Right. If you don't, especially if you don't see him though, you just hear Dave from. I didn't even hear that part. I just saw the question. So I'm like, this is the dumbest question ever. Because I remember tweeting. I said, KD got a lot more control than I would have been asked that stupid question. But then you realize it's a joke, so it's all good.
Right.
Letterman's hilarious.
No, yeah, and stuff like that, especially when you recognize who it is, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, David Letterman's OG in the game.
Oh, sure, but I don't think that was really too much in the Hawks. DeAndre Hunter won't be there to start training camp, but he will be there for the first day of the season. Did you find with that? Because we know he did have a couple injuries. He was injured coming out of the playoffs. You think that's the best thing right now?
I think it's it's not what I would want, honestly, because that just shows that it's still something lingering. You want him to come to training camp healthy and to be able to train from day one, because being healthy by the first game is helpful because they obviously want him in the lineup
for sure.
But if your first day back is the first game of the regular season, that's even as good as a play. Even for the great players, that's a lot just to walk into.
Right.
But you hope he comes in healthy or whatever. So hopefully, he's able to catch a rhythm quickly, for sure. But other than that, in training camp, it was obviously the vaccination talk dominated stuff, and then you got the Ben Simmons things in Philly. But other than that, it was cool to see. What I liked the most about Media Day is just seeing the new players or whatever in the new area. Like I like seeing the Kyle Lowry in Miami. And his interviews. I think he came in and said good morning. I don't think nobody responded to him. He was like, "Shit, good morning, y'all." it was just funny. But then you see like the Lakers and what they got going on with Melo there, Rondo back. It's funny to see that they brought back 2 players from that championship team.
Yeah.
It just shows kind of the mindset that they had or whatever. But seeing Alonzo with the Bulls, so it's always cool to see the new places where people are, for sure. Outside of them talking about the vaccination every day.
Of course, everybody was
into that stuff.
Everybody on Twitter was putting up their 5-year update picture for NBA players, and just to see, it has been a lot of change over the last 5 years. Honestly, But like I say, get to the Ben Simmons thing real quick. Of course, Ramona Shelburne
Shout out
is
to Ramona. She picked against the Hawks in the playoffs. She was wrong.
she's on the record reportedly stating that Ben Simmons, in the worst case scenario, is willing to sit out for the whole season. And of course, that means not getting paid that $33 million he's owed this year. When it comes to that point, of course, if that's what he wanted to do, that's what he wanted to do. Like, that's the only way, that's the only thing he can do, because he can't leave. He's, sign that extension. Not who's to blame at this point, but how do we get it from here, though? Him sitting out the whole season.
Yeah, I'll start by saying, if he doesn't care about the money, then why should I care? If he's prepared to lose the money and he knows he's gonna lose it, because he's not also gonna lose his salary, he's gonna get fined also. So if he's cool with it, whatever, it's his money to lose. So we get that out the way from the start. But to lose a year of your career and thinking, because I know what everyone's saying on NBA Twitter, I feel like I'm always alone. They say that Ben has all the leverage.
All right.
But he really don't. He got 4 years on his contract. Philly doesn't have to trade him at all. If he retires and come back, they still have his rights. So at some point, you have to decide what looks better as a professional. And as I said to you yesterday, like, I would show up and play, and I would tell them I don't want to be there. I wouldn't change my mind about it. I'd be like how Jimmy did in Minnesota. And not even saying cause a distraction, not that he did or whatever, but that's how they took it because of practice. But I'll be there. I'll play hard. And then when we talk to the media after, I'll say I still want to be traded. And I'll let it be known, because just sitting out when they own so much of your career, 4 years of your career is a long time. So you're prepared to sit out then and then. I don't know how the contract things works, but if you're not playing, are you even losing the year? I don't even know. But to get to this point, you could obviously Ben feels some distrust in the organization. Right? I don't know. I've never talked to him, so I don't know. But that's clear. He feels some distrust there, and this the stuff that's come out recently about him saying he thinks the Joel thing has ran its course. He don't think they can play together. He wants to go a team that's completely built around him, and all that could be true. Who knows? He hasn't directly spoken, but I also think we're at that point too.
Well, you gotta start speaking.
Like, I don't know him, so I don't like to be the guy to be like, look, you're a grown man, you need to do this. But you are a grown man, and it just gets ugly at some point. And I've heard a few things from different people, and it does come down to being about business. And my main thing, I say it a lot on all of our shows, to me, it's about the teammate thing at the end of the day. Like,
I don't even want to be their teammate no more.
Not even that. But if that's true, tell them.
I
don't want to play on this team.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't leave the dudes that's like, because it's players that stood up for Ben. Also, I've watched interviews with Thibault standing up for him. Danny Green standing up for him. Yeah, they've stood up for him or whatever. So at some point, it's about your teammates too.
Oh, for sure.
But past all of that, are you really ready to let them like just have your career in their hands like that for the next couple of years? Because it can, get longer. And then we was talking earlier about Joel's comments saying how, if you really look at the team, they really have built it around him. I mean, Joel's just the first option because he's the best player
on the team, right?
Right, but having shooters everywhere. I mean, because his words was kind of, I can play with anybody in a sense. I mean, he kind of can. If you put him with any other point guard, he's still good. But the shooters is to accommodate Ben more so than Joel, but it's to accommodate both of them because they both need shooters on the court.
Right.
But more so Ben, since he doesn't want to, shoot or whatever. Right. So, and I don't blame Joel. One of his things says stuff's starting to come out borderline disrespectful to him, saying, they can't play or they can't do this or that. And he's like, basically what y'all trying to say about me. And I feel him on that too, because that man finished second in MVP. And, Ben's throwing his weight around like he was second in MVP. Right. And when you got another dude on the team that could be like, look, who we really talking about is a problem here. I don't mind him standing up and saying that, because Joel averages 28 and 13, so he carries his weight.
I did see somebody say something about that on Twitter, saying, Joel Embiid, added a 3-pointer to his game to help accommodate Ben. But what has Ben really done to help accommodate Joel Embiid?
Even as far as just being aggressive at all times. You know what I mean? Even just doing that to accommodate Joel. But yeah, Joel shot 38% from 3 last year. That was so Ben could occupy the paint more. Right. I mean, so.
And like you said, Ben needs, but real quick, Ben does need to speak up more on it. But at some point,
behind your agent gets whacked at a certain point.
I would say even Rich Paul needs to start making things a little more clear as his agent as well, and start not only doing the best business thing, but what's best for his career, honestly, and having him sit out a whole career. Not even speaking on the money part, but having him sit out a whole career.
Whole year.
Whole year, my bad. Whole shit might be a career. But have him sitting out a whole year is bad for it's not like it's bad for his playing career, because it does change his status, because you never know what group of players are coming up next. And that does kind of diminish the trade value, because we haven't seen you in a year. And the last time we did see you, we are, that's the reason why you're sitting out right now.
And I don't even think it diminishes it as far as on the court. I think it diminishes as far as, well, I'm going to trade for you. And then as soon as you get mad and stuff get tough, you ain't going to want to play.
I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple.
I don't agree with a lot of things Kwame Brown says, but I do agree with that aspect that he said, where he's like, you are trying to do business with these people. Like, y'all playing for it. It always comes back to the money. I hate that it does, but it's a business at the end of the day, and it's $100 million on the table. Like, come on, that's a lot of money to be invested into you or to anyone.
No,
so,
sure.
It all plays a part. And then when it just comes down to the game of it, I mean, you ready to sit out like that? Cause like I say, they have your career.
Yeah, they don't own you, but they have.
No, they don't mean they own you, but they have you're on a 4-year contract. So unless you're ready to go through arbitration and all these court stuff to get exactly, because nobody forced them to sign a 4-year deal. But we told y'all 3 years ago to stop signing long ass deals, and they still do it. So stop signing them long ass deals.
Sign a 2-year contract. You still get them. You still get a max with 2-year contract, 2-year extension. You don't have to sign for 4 years, because you never know what's going. Something like this might just happen. Like, you never know what could happen before the contract, before the extension year starts.
Stop signing them long ass deals.
That's just the end of the message. Stop signing these long deals. You don't have to sign them. Nobody's forcing you to sign them. Maybe your agent is, because they know what they're getting out of the deal, but nobody is forcing you.
It's all the years of the guaranteed money and this and that.
You can make that guaranteed money.
One more time for the road. Stop signing these long ass deals. Yeah.
No, the facts though. So, but speaking of the season, of course, we haven't officially gotten there yet. But
almost.
What are you looking forward to this year? Not ain't nothing specific, no awards or anything, but what's the one thing you're really looking forward to in this coming up season?
For sure, I'm looking to see. I want to see a full healthy year of the Lakers and the Nets. I'll get that out of the way. I'm not a fan of either team, so don't really matter. But I want to see how it works with those teams, and we saw a glimpse of the Nets or whatever. Obviously, since they bring most of them back, but to see a full season, fully healthy, because I think the Kyrie Irving thing is going to work itself out. I only got to get into that, but to see them on the court for a full year, like I want to see if they're going to go for them and the Lakers, or they're going to go for absolute dominance. These are teams. I want to see, right? Yeah, these are teams historically they finished at the top of the league, top of the conference, crazy winning streaks, plays and stuff like that. So I want to see that, and I want to see who emerges in the MVP race this year, because you're going to have the typical names, but there's going to be somebody who we're not expecting. I mean, look at Jokic last year. Just when
see if Dame can get his name up into the top 3.
Right. Someone like Dame, or, maybe if Steph can reclaim his or whatever. So the MVP race is always interesting. I always like to see the most improved player, because that's like the next potential star to me, the next potential perennial all-star. Yeah. So interested in seeing that. And then I'll end it with the return of Klay. Like, if Klay is as healthy as I think he is, the Warriors do put themselves in that conference finals type contention, because I mean, Steph was holding it down by himself, really.
Just need another competent player on offense, right?
Right. So the return of Klay, and then when if you see how good that team looks, I think this is when the GM Myers tries to make some moves. And because if y'all look good, I think he adds something else to the team. They brought Iguodala back.
Like Dunleavy Jr. just got added onto their front office as well.
And he's a really smart basketball dude for sure. He's a hooper also. Shout out to Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Brought him up twice in 1 week.
Right. Yeah, for real though. But yeah, I'm interested to see how healthy Klay is this year, because that could be big. I mean, if Klay is simply 18 a game, that changes some things for them. 18 a game, 40% from 3.
Because I think that's really the key, just having that another shooter out there, consistent shooter out there with Steph, to where he gonna make, nobody else gonna make shots. He gonna make shots, even if it's not Steph making shots.
And I don't care what people think about James Wiseman. Not that I think that he's gonna be the best player in his draft, but having a full training camp, I believe he's having a full training camp. He's coming in healthy. If he simply is on the court doing what he did last year, that improves what they did if he's there for the whole season. Because I think he could be easily a double-double, but he got potential as far as he got a little. I like his free throw line jumper. He probably can extend up to 3. I don't know if he can.
He made a couple threes last year. Yeah, the potential's there.
A full training camp and getting in some rhythm for Wiseman with adding Clay because they having to lean on Damian, lead them to kind of play that Clay role really sucked for the Warriors. But having Clay back, and I think Jordan Poole, like I appreciate how strong he finished the year after going to the G League and things like that. And he took that as a challenge to get better, and I think he got better.
Signed Avery Bradley recently.
I ain't that high on that, but
it's another
for real though. High
IQ
player,
yeah.
high IQ player, good defensive player. I mess
with pro, like he's I
like Avery Bradley.
Professional.
Yeah, I like Avery for real though, and that's minutes. Avery's an upgrade from Kent Bazemore to me. So that's he's better than Kent Bazemore. The Lakers got Bazemore. Yeah, they get Avery. Right. But we'll see what happens. The Warriors are for sure in the playoffs, though. If Clay, for sure in the playoffs, if Clay is healthy, but if he's borderline all-star, which I ain't gonna put that on him, but if he averaged 18 on 40% shooting, that's borderline all-star. They'll finish top 4.
Oh, for sure. Steve Kerr is supposed to take over for Pop Team USA. How you feel?
Not surprised because he's been around.
I know that a lot of people thinking Aaron Spoelstra got snubbed for that job, but he hasn't been around Team USA
not as long because Spoelstra has been around a little bit also, but Kerr has been around for a while, and he has that relationship with the Colangelos who were running things there, so that's not surprising. I'm a big fan of Eric Spoelstra, so I wouldn't have been mad if he would have been the choice. Oh, yeah. But I don't mind it being Steve Kerr if it is him. I didn't know Pop was doing one and done, but it probably was tough to get that goal. He said, "I'm out of here."
Papa already said this was gonna be a one-time thing. He would never think about coming back. He just wanted to. I think he was always just like the stopgap coach, and I think this is just something he personally wanted to do, honestly.
Which is probably why they should go to Spoelstra, because how long is Steve Kerr would he want to do it?
That's also a good question.
But I'm not mad at it being Kerr, but I do think Spoelstra should get a shot if he wants it. Whether it's this team or the next one. Right. Yeah, for sure.
I know this year.
I just wonder what players are going to play. Way too early. Right. I wonder who's going to be. I would think we're in the Trae Young. I don't even know if we can.
Don't even know, right?
Jason Tatum will be back, of course. Jaylen Brown, maybe.
Right.
Those type of people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Probably some of those select players who got snubbed on the last team or didn't make it on his last team.
All right. Zion gonna play Team USA.
Does Zion work in the Olympics? Zion
he should work anywhere. You got Zion and Trae Young out there? Oh, we winning gold. Yeah, Zion and Trae Young, we winning gold for sure. Easy go. I don't care who Luka playing with. Zion, Trae Young, we're getting the gold.
No, yeah. Sure. No, yeah, you're
right. Because matter of fact, it'll be Zion, Trae Young, and for sure it'll be Zion, Trae Young, and Jason Tatum. So
for sure,
who's stopping that?
Nobody. Yeah, you're right.
Nobody.
You're right. What's the update on the Toronto Raptors? Where are they playing this year? I just want to get, because I still, I don't know what it's like up there in Toronto, how they doing the vaccination thing. But has anybody said anything about that?
Not that I know of, and I've been asking for a while, and I haven't researched it. But I don't know what are they going to do this year. I haven't seen anything from their training camp.
Because I know they don't want to play in Tampa again. Especially they got the outside down the junk, like
it's like your whole
Jurassic
season.
Park, right?
Your whole season is on the road because Tampa doesn't care about the Raptors either. I'm sure people go to the game because it's an NBA game, but they don't, like, it's not our team. We don't care about y'all. It's not even in a sense of when New Orleans was going to play in OKC. At least we're, it's regional. We're close. We cheer for y'all. We don't have another team. Like, we ain't cheering for y'all. They're like, They would have been better playing somewhere like Buffalo. Just like
I don't know why they took them so far down.
Yeah,
Florida, like
because at least maybe some of your fans could have traveled. The USA fans that you have in that area,
right?
So I don't know. I'm gonna find the answer out today. What are the Toronto Raptors doing this year? If you already know, let us know because I don't know.
No, definitely don't.
But their team, I don't know what they're doing that way, and I don't know what their team is gonna do this year. Toronto Raptors making the playoffs this year. A lot of people high on Gary Trent, Siakam. I guess he got to know he the man now since Kyle Lowry is gone.
Does he know he the man now?
I don't know. I guess he's gonna have to tell him day one. But are Raptors competing for the playoffs this year?
I mean, realistically, you would guess they could. Like say, Fred VanVleet coming back, Pascal Siakam, who looks to want to be healthy this year, go to another All-Star game. Say a lot of people are high on Gary Trent. Nick Nurse is a pretty good coach.
Yeah, I like Nick Nurse. He's a solid, very good coach.
But I don't know if they're going to the playoffs this year or not. I don't know. I just don't know.
Did they make it last year? No.
OG Anunoby seems to be an emerging player, but I don't know if they have enough. Because the East is better now than what it's been in the past couple of decades and whatnot. Like the East is a lot better. I think it's a lot of teams, especially like fighting for that like 6 through 10 spot.
Yeah,
Toronto is in there with a bunch of teams who's probably just as good, if not better than them.
Right, because you got teams even like the Bulls that's going to emerge this year. Indiana's always there, and you just added Rick Carlisle, who's a really good coach. So they're still going to be there. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be there. Still got the Charlotte Hornets factor. So the East is tough this year. The Wizards, I think the Wizards still could compete for the playoffs. They got Bradley Beal. I expect Kyle Kuzma to have a good year. They got Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah, the Raptors might not make the playoffs
this year. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I was going to call them the Tampa Bay Raptors, but I'm not quite sure on that. What team can you see from the West probably struggling this year that was in the playoffs?
From last year?
Yeah. This is a quick answer. Like I said, we can get into this more in the next couple days and weeks and whatnot. But
from the playoff side on the West, I think the easy answer would be Memphis because I don't know that Memphis got better, but I believe in Ja. So I don't know if they got better as far as they're going to make the jump or if they're going to be in playing position again.
That's fair.
Dallas has to show something because you obviously bring in a new coach.
Luka's top 4 now, man. They got to do something.
You got a new coach. Still don't know if Luka and Porzingis works. We're getting it for a full training camp this year, so Porzingis' role is going to be more. A lot of people was tough on him last year, and you forget the fact that he start playing in the middle of the season, and Luka's already cooking. So you just got to kind of play your role, opposed to come in saying, "Give me the ball," and then this man getting 40-point triple doubles like he James Harden. you just got to come in and get in where you fit in, but. Porzingis is going to want to get back to all-star status, at least all-star conversation status. And it makes sense to use him that way because you don't want to burn out Luka. Like Luka's really tired in the second half, and you can see it in his free throw shooting or whatever. So, but Dallas could struggle this year because, they pay Tim Hardaway. Mm-hmm. I like Tim Hardaway. I don't love him. He shows up sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't. Do they have someone else that's going to be able to handle the ball with Luka?
They still need
right now. Dwight Powell's their starting center.
I don't like that.
They need.
I liked it a lot last year. I don't like it no more. That sucks.
Dallas, what we know they're going to do is they're going to have an MVP candidate in Luka. Outside of that, it's still a lot of questions there. So Dallas could struggle this year. And then the question: what happens with the Clippers without Kawhi? But I think Paul George. I think Paul's going to have a really good year.
You see Kawhi all geared up, headband and all. Going into practice the other day.
He ready, man. He ready. I want. What is there a timeline for
Not
Kawhi?
that I've heard, but
he should be back. He is gonna play this year, though.
No, yeah, for sure.
So maybe before the All-Star break, January, or maybe that's too early. Because what was his injury? It was a partial or a partial ACL.
Yeah,
bring him back in February, right before the All-Star game.
Not just get a little rhythm back.
Yeah.
But other than that, you got anything yesterday?
No, that's it for the day. I had to think about it. That's it for the day. Just as always, appreciate the viewers. NBA season is coming up, so that is great, especially since the NFL has been destroying my timeline on Twitter. I'm not going to call none of y'all out, but that's okay because I got to get rid of the football stuff. So shout out to the NBA season on the way back. We're actually going to check out the Hawks tomorrow. Going to go to their practice, see what they got going on. So looking forward to that. Maybe I can get some ones with the OG Lou Will. We'll see. Other than that, appreciate the viewers as always. Thank you for everyone to check out the morning run. We're actually coming up on a year soon of the morning run. You probably hadn't even thought about that.
No, I haven't.
But we're coming up on a year of doing these morning runs for the Off the Ball Network. Shout out to Off the Ball Network for providing a platform to do this. We went from podcasters to doing what we're doing now. But you can find us anywhere podcasts are available.
Boom.
Apple, Google,
Spotify.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora. And then every Monday and Friday, you can catch us for the Hoopers Hour on the Nothing But Net radio channel through the Dash Radio app. So we're on tonight, 8 p.m. For the Hoopers Hour. Every Wednesday, catch us on the halftime app for the Hoopers Room. We just did JJ Reddick. Gave him his flowers for his career. 17 years in the NBA, 4 years in college. Yeah, so we talked about that, his career. Next week, we diving into point guards. So that's going to be a really good one. So definitely check us out next Wednesday, 6 p.m. halftime app. Shout out to the halftime app. 6 p.m. for the Hoopers Room on point guards.
All right.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, next Saturday we won't be doing the Hoopers Morning Run next Friday. Next Saturday we will be doing the NBA preview with some of his friends and family and whatnot, as we like to call them. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I will have a time for y'all Monday, probably about Monday, Wednesday. We'll be looking out for that. So no Hoopers Run next Friday morning because we will be doing the NBA preview show on Saturday.
Right, and it's gonna be like an afternoon show. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so definitely get ready for that. That's gonna be dope for sure.
And with that being said, I'm John Davies.
It's Fresh X.
This is the Hoopers Morning Run.
Catch y'all next week, players.